Rosie, the dish I'm making for you today is my silverbeet and kale pie. Now, I'm going to use the whole part of the silverbeet. And Rosie, what I do is I trim the silverbeet down either side like this and remove the stem. Now, usually the stem is what people throw away, but we're not throwing anything away today. I like to cut the stem into little pieces. So I get these little cubes and I cook them down because nothing goes to waste in this episode.
Good one.
And definitely nothing will go to waste with this episode because I'm putting bacon with it. Now, the kale, the same thing. I just strip down the side there like that. And the stem part, which is, sort of a little bit woodier and a little bit...
A bit tough on the teeth.
It is.
So the smaller, the better.
Exactly. So if we cook that out a little bit before we cook the leaves in, this will be a great pie. So I'm going to get you onto that one there. And while you're doing that, I shall take this bacon and remove it from the packet. Smell of bacon.
Thou shalt take the bacon.
Have my last piece of bacon, said no one ever. Now, the bacon, this is speck, which is fantastic. I take the skin off the outside here and I pop that straight into the pan here. You can hear that starting to render down. The fat from the bacon will go into that pan and make it even more tasty and delicious. And this is speck or belly bacon. You can see it's made up of a couple of different muscles there and that fat that goes all the way through because it's the fat that makes it delicious. That smoky flavour, the fat from the bacon. And of course the meat. It is very delicious. It's not controversial at all. It's just, I love the way the knife just goes straight through that bacon. Take your time and go all the way through. Push the knife forward and then pull it back like that and it just slices all the way through. Speck or bacon, whatever you use, it's going to make it delicious. Into the pan it goes like that and the sizzle of bacon frying. It's what gets you up in the morning.
Are you still talking about bacon?
No, it's one of my favourite things in the world. It is delicious. Now, I've got some garlic here as well. We love plenty of garlic. And the garlic, instead of crushing it, I'm just going to slice it all the way through. So it's got some chunky stuff to it. And this garlic will go straight into the pan. I keep it chunky because the bacon's chunky, the garlic's chunky, and they'll sort of cook evenly, which is what I'm looking for. Same with the onion. I'm just going to cut it into a large dice all the way through. And the way I cut the onion, I keep the core on the other side there, a little slice like that, and it holds the onion together. You can actually pick it up, move it around, take it out for a drink, and then bring it back again, and it's ready to slice up. And slice it like that, nice and big and chunky. This is the sort of pie that bakes in the oven and has lots and lots of flavour to it. And one of the other things I'm going to do, because it is using everything up, I'm going to make a pastry called a suet pastry. Now, suet is the fat from the inside of the kidney that's around the kidney. And you might think, ooh, that sounds horrible, but it's actually the fat that we use in Nana's Christmas pudding. That's why Nana's Christmas pudding always tastes so good. Now, the pan's sizzling away. I'll add some oil to the pan now and get this really, really frying up. You want to hear lots and lots of sizzle. You want these flavours to come together nicely. How you going with that kale?
Well, I've got a lot to do, haven't I? It's like having a big pile of ironing. I'm a bit nervous about it. But,
oh, don't worry. What I'll do is I'll put some salt and pepper in this, give it a bit of a stir, and then you and I will get into chopping that up and we'll get ready for the next stage. Now, the stem is what I put in next. Just get that straight in there. You sort of turn it around a little bit and soften it up a tiny bit before I put the green stuff in there.
Great usage.
You like that?
Yeah.
We don't want to throw anything away, and I just stir that around. Bit of salt in there. This is the bit where you cook the kale and the silverbeet. I want to cook it down to make it nice and soft, but I also want to keep the flavour and the colour. Throw in the dill and the chives. And the dill, I've cut up with the stem in there as well.
Spring onion.
We're not wasting a thing. And the spring onion can go in as well. Throw the whole lot in there. And this will just simmer down nicely. The lid will go on it. It'll steam away, stay nice and crisp, keep its colour. And once it's done, I'm going to cool it down. We'll clean up and get the pastry going. Rosie, the suet pastry is really, really easy to make, but the tricky part, I suppose, is getting the suet. You go to your local butcher, he'll freeze it and mince it up for you. It is a really, really good shortening. Now, I'm going to get it in my Magimix and I'll just pour it straight in here like this. I'm going to add 700 grams of plain flour straight into the top there like that. and some vinegar. A teaspoon of vinegar to make it nice and tasty, and of course salt. With pastry you need lots of salt, and because it's got suet in, there's no reason why we wouldn't add any more salt to it. In it goes, nice big pinch. Now I normally add 400 mils of cold water. I'll pop that in now, but I'll just hold a little bit back. I don't put it all in at once. I like to add it as it's going along because it's hard to take it out, but it's easy to put in. Now Rosie, the lid goes on, we lock it into place like this. The Magimix is great for mixing this up, and all I do is press the button and let the magic happen. Rosie, I like to rest the suet pastry for about half an hour on the bench at room temperature, and that way it stays nice and sort of warmish and easy to roll out. Now, Rosie, I've got the Silverbeet and the bacon and the
it looks
kale
good,
there.
doesn't it?
It's cooled down nicely. I want you to crumble the ricotta through the mixture there, and then 4 eggs into the bowl, all that cream into the bowl, and then fold it all through nice and gently.
You've got it.
And that'll be the base. Now, with a rolling pin, I'll just gently roll this out. And I don't mind a little bit of a thick crust on the top of it because I'm not putting any pastry underneath it. Now, you do need a little bit of flour just to dust the outside of it to stop the rolling pin from sticking. So I'll just roll that through. Pastry is one of those things that, you know, people think it's a bit of a labour to make, but if you make, you know, do a double batch, you can always pop it in the freezer, and pastry holds really, really well in the freezer. And I think there's nothing better than homemade pastry. That's my favourite thing in the entire world. And I'll just go for something probably about 1 centimetre thick is what I'm looking for. I'm using a very small rolling pin, so I'm just trying to get it all nice and even so it doesn't come out. Looks great.
Fold a bit of cream in here.
Pour the cream in there as well, and this is easy to mix. Keep on going, keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. That's it. Pour it in like that. Perfect. Now just mix that through gently. Beautifully folded through, Rosie. Now pop it into the Silverbeet. It's sort of like a quiche mix, isn't it?
It is a bit like a quiche.
It's the cream that makes it nice and luscious, and it's the egg that binds it all together. Get in underneath it, Rosie. Just mix it all around so it gets to the bottom of it. Now, Rosie, I'm just going to slide this underneath here, and I'll get you to put all that mixture into here. It will be a full one. Do you want me to do that one?
You can do that one.
OK, so I'll just scrape it straight into there, and I'm thinking that this will fill that pie dish up all the way to the top. Look at that, perfect quantity. Who would have thought?
Look at that.
And just push it down so it's nicely packed together like this. Now, Rosie, I'll pick this up like this, and we'll slide that underneath, and then I just lay the top of it on there like that. And with a handy pair of scissors, I just cut around the outside just to make sure we cut off all the excess. Now, over in the corner there, Rosie, I've got a pastry brush and some eggs. I want you to whisk that up so it's all nicely packed together. Now, the outside of the pie dish, I'm just going to roll over like this till we get a nice little layer on the outside. I just sort of twist it like this and just pull it at the same time, and it sort of goes in on itself.
Oh, lovely crust.
Now, Rosie, brush the top of it, go like crazy, use it like you stole it. I want plenty of the egg on the outside of it because that's what makes it nice and golden. So I get a pair of scissors like this, and I cut a couple of little birds' beaks. 1, 2, 3.
Aha.
Looks good, doesn't it?
Looks very good.
Now, Rosie, I've preset the oven at 180 degrees Celsius. This will take about 35 to 45 minutes. I know it's cooked because it'll be nice and golden on the top, and we already know the inside's ready to go. Smells fantastic.
It's impressive, isn't it?
Looks good as well. We've got that nice golden crust on the outside. Like, you put plenty of egg on it. It really makes a difference. Gives it a really good shine and makes it glossy. Really important to egg wash your pastry.
Absolutely.
Before you put it in the oven.
It's like a good pasty. A Cornish person would be happy with that kind of crumb there as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Straight to the Cornish pasty. Beautiful. It's almost a vegetarian Cornish pasty, except for the suet pastry and the bacon. Oh, look at that. Now, a little bit of parsley on the top there to make it look nice and pretty. Looks good, doesn't it?
It looks good and it smells really good.
That's what you want. I'll just go into the centre there, into the fork.
It's got loads of greens in there. You've got a full-blown meal. How is it?
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
The bacon really brings it together. And the pastry, I'll just have a little crack of that pastry there. It's a really, really beautiful pastry.
This is the premium pastry, isn't it?
It is. It stays nice and moist and amazing flavour.
Yeah.
You can be guaranteed, if you serve this up, there will be no leftovers, and that's what it's all about. No leftovers at all. This is a winner. The rest for me.